it's all just pretty convenient and stuff, and it doesn't make you wonder why Blockbuster or Video Easy went out of business because of the model that it is. That it's focused on convenience for the customer. You know what I mean? And this topic is hot off the heels of a news article this past week where GameStop, the US company, we know them as EB Games over here, took themselves off the market for being purchased. They've been up for sale for quite a bit of time because they're basically losing money in the physical copies sort of area. The whole digital marketplace is people have been going over to digital media for quite some time. It's been a bit of a drizzle, but it's basically
it's really catching up now.
At the moment, it's split 50-50.
Yeah.
And not only that, GameStop also has to compete with Amazon and eBay and all those other digital suppliers, internet postal suppliers.
Yeah.
And it's just a bit of a niche thing. It's basically like a place where most people just go to pick up merchandise for a game.
Yeah, because that's what like here in Australia, there's a lot of Zing stores being attached to EB Games, and Zing is basically just like the merch place to be, like where you buy your merch.
It's just a whole bunch of geek merch.
Yeah, especially in Australia. I don't know about anywhere else in the world, but
and so it just makes me wonder, like, where's GameStop going to go from this? If I was in charge of GameStop, I would try to go for some sort of digital marketplace in the way of Steam or Origin or something like that, where it's like a little application that you could open on your desktop. And I know you'd be joining the rest of the crowd and you'd be competing with that crowd, but they're still competing with them regardless of whether they do physical or digital. And on that front as well, because a lot of people do love buying physical over digital because they get a case. You could still buy off that and then, spend that little bit more to get just that box art or something on your shelf. And, with the way that also digital refunding is working, there's no real excuse that, one is better than the other. Like Steam has got a whole bunch of applications and extra features on that in some cases makes it better.
Yeah,
than
like
going
the Steam,
to a GameStop or EB Games.
The Steam Workshop itself is just really well done. Like, there's still improvements that could be made. There always is with anything, but like you've got the ease of access for the modding community. Like you can just go to the Steam Workshop, get little add-ons for your game, and like you can't do that with when you go to an actual physical store and buy your copy. And then also with that, it's like because I did the dumb thing and I bought GTA 5 in a physical copy, and then because that's not through the Steam, I have to get my mods for that game through another supplier off the internet. It's not as easy as going through Steam Workshop and just clicking on it, automatically installs it to your game. That's part of the issue with buying a physical copy.
Yeah, and Steam does have a lot of that ease of use as well. Like when I've just picked up Undertale on the Switch, and I'm playing through that, and I found my controller, I had to use the thumbstick, and I was a bit annoyed with that. I wanted to use the D-pad. And if I went into controller layouts, there's already people from the community who've set up controller layouts for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, or Nintendo Switch controllers. And they're all supported by Steam. You just have to connect it to your computer, it registers it, and then you pick the layout you want, automatically attaches it to the controller, play the game, boom, you're done.
It's a beauty of PC.
Exactly. And a lot of consoles have started to catch up to that. They're not quite there, but the ease of use, I feel like, is much more prevalent with a console. However, with the likes of Steam implementing these features, there's going to get to a point where it's not necessarily like I pick Xbox because of this, or I pick PlayStation because this is easier. It's going to be I picked PlayStation because I was with PlayStation before, or I picked PC because I've got all my games through Steam.
Which is probably something they should be focusing on is maintaining the players they've already got. I mean, like rather than having to try and compete and find new people to bring in, just and appeal to them, just focus on the ones you've got and improve that. And then what's your strengths? Focus on that. What's your weaknesses? Eradicate that. You know, like I don't know. Yeah, you know what I'm getting at.
Well, even on that is like we're still getting a separation where it's like a PlayStation is known for its exclusives. They're if you want to play The Last of Us, Spider-Man PS4,
Tomb Raider.
God of War.
Oh no, that's not
Tomb Raider's not exclusive.
Well, wasn't it? It was for a bit, wasn't it?
On Xbox.
Ah, never mind. But yeah.
Yes. If you want to play the likes of those games, Horizon Zero Dawn, God of War, all of those, you have to play them on PlayStation. They're not accessible any other way.
And that's the same thing with Nintendo.
Nintendo is a completely different kettle of fish. But Xbox has been going a different route where their games are accessible on both the Xbox and a PC.
Yeah.
With I think it's called the Windows Store or something like that. I'm not too sure. I don't play Xbox.
Because there is some games that you can buy on the Xbox. No, through your Windows, and then it'll play on your Xbox as well.
Exactly. Yeah. And they've also got the Game Pass, which that includes some of the games that are on the Microsoft Store on your PC. So you can purchase it for your Xbox, and then you've got a laptop, and you've got games on there already.
Okay.
And so,
because I was thinking about utilizing that when Forza Motorsport came out. I was going to try and jump on that and play it on PC like that way.
Yeah, well, you've got plenty of Xbox has its exclusives like Sea of Thieves, Forza, Halo, but it generally looks like from my point of view as a consumer, it looks like Xbox is going more with the convenience and ease of consumption. So in the way of
the way Steam sort of does it.
Kind of. It's more of like an accessibility. Like you've got your Xbox, which you can play your Xbox games on, and some games will only be console exclusives. You won't be able to get them on PC, but any first party games are going to be accessible on the PC, and that's what kind of separates that from your likes of PlayStation, where PlayStation, the closest they've got to that is remote play, which you can do on a PC,
which isn't the best looking thing.
If it's set up with a great internet connection, it's actually pretty indistinguishable.
Yeah.
But if the internet connection is a little bit faulty, it can look a little bit dud, which is where that does falter, and we get into the future of gaming, which is where I see it coming from, is streaming gameplay.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. The way that the internet connection is building up, we're getting close to 5G now.
Yeah.
Games are starting to become... Red Dead Redemption itself is a 120 gigabyte download.
Yeah.
Install on your game. Imagine just buying a piece of hardware for $99, setting it up on your TV set box, and playing Red Dead on that. And you have a controller in your hand and everything's streamed through the internet. That is where I personally think the future of gaming will end up. Yeah. And even now you can see that as the future of where we watch movies and stuff like that.
Where everything just sort of sits in a cloud, you access it.
Pretty much.
Brings down a proxy copy version and you just...
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And the best way that we can see this as evident, or at least see this as the way that's going to go, is if we look back and look at the pioneer of a lot of our data holding, and that is the music industry. Now, if we go back, music went from obviously your vinyls to CDs, or vinyls to tapes, tapes to CDs, and then from CDs you could buy them and put them on your iTunes store. And that was the moment where people realized that, digital is much better than having a physical copy, because you can copy 200. This is going back to when you had an iPod that had 16 gigabytes.
I remember 8.
8 gigabytes.
And then the little shuffles, 2 gigs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you can stick 200 songs on the one device. It was like having 10 cassette tapes in the one device. And then going from there, you had the iTunes store. You could buy the songs digitally and have them, and you would own them as the digital copy and stuff like that. And then Spotify came in one step further, and now we just stream the music. Yeah. And you have a huge library. You don't even have to have Spotify Premium. You can have Spotify free. You gotta have ads for it.
Those really aggressive ads that just
Yeah, like if you're playing a slow song and you turn the volume up just a little bit and the ad comes on, it's just like, enjoy Spotify Premium now for $2.95.
And then I remember, like, off topic, but Gus Johnson did a skit, and it was just like, turns a blender on, gets an air horn, whoa, get it now, buy it now. Like,
Yeah.
they're very aggressive and loud. Off topic. Thanks for listening.
And so, just looking at that projection of the way that the music industry has gone and the way that we've seen the TV and movie industries follow, games tend to be one that trails behind. Not because it's unpopular or anything.
It's just the way it's developed, those games.
It's because of the money that's poured into that. The music industry has a huge amount of money that's get poured into that. And then you've got the movie industry, like Aquaman made $1 billion, you know, Avengers Infinity War made $2 billion. Same with Black Panther. And, you know, when you're talking movies in the billions, that's a crap ton of money.
Yeah.
And so in the games industry, you've got games that reach up to like the $100-200 million mark. You get your Call of Duties, which earn, you know, close to that billion as well, and Grand Theft Auto 5. So the gaming industry is not far behind. It might be third in the race,
and like
but it's slowly catching up.
Part of that issue is because the way the games are played. Like a movie, it's a file, you watch it. Video, music, it's a file, you play it. The game is something that has to be constantly reloaded, like frame per frame. You know what I mean? As you move through the world, and then
and even then, like if you look at something that's more arcadey, like Pac-Man or something like that, you know, you've got that replayability, but at the same time, as like, it's not something that you would sit down and watch for like 2 hours or something, or it's not something that, you know, you'd have an entire season for. It's not something that you'd have like as an album or something. It's like a small level that you just quickly play with. So going from something as small as Pac-Man and then even to something as large as like Grand Theft Autos and stuff like that, it's a little bit hard to quantifiably put games under a single banner sometimes because there is such a broad variety of
game
games,
types.
That you can't really say that like, oh, all games will go like that.